Time for a soccer down here 1v1, and the ritual continues. You keep winning. You keep requesting the guest come back. The guest continues to request coming back because wins happen. And they have been for Khano Smith and Rhode Island FC, playing in the USL Championship. Not just the championship match in the USL Championship. Coach, congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Good to be on again.
All right, so what was it like for the squad? I guess we'll just kind of take it a stage at a time here. Going into that environment in Charleston, what was it like for Rhode Island FC to go into that environment once again on the road, once again chasing after something that you know that your mission wasn't done?
Yeah, I mean, Charleston, obviously a fantastic team, well-coached team with really good players. So that in itself was difficult. And then, their fans were loud and it was a good atmosphere. It was packed, sold out. So yeah, it was incredibly difficult. And, it was certainly periods of the game where we where we had to suffer and deal with all of that. But I think the guys did a really good job of doing that and getting the result for us.
Take it 45 minutes at a time. Zachary Arivo gets the goal a couple minutes before the half, gets a flick on from a long throw from Clay Holstad, goes to Karifa Yao, and then it gets into the net for the 1-0 lead. When it comes to the long throw in, how much, for someone who hasn't seen Rhode Island FC play, how much of a staple is that for you as a part of your arsenal?
I would just say set pieces in general are a staple for us, and we want to be good in all phases of the game, and that includes set pieces, that includes in transition, defensively and attacking, and also in possession and out of possession with the ball. So yeah, it's certainly part of our repertoire, but I wouldn't say it's the only thing. Hopefully, we have multiple weapons where we can hurt teams.
You're up 1-0 at the break. What's the conversation like at the half?
The conversation at half was that, look, yeah, we suffered. They had periods of the game where they had a lot of the ball, certainly more than we did, but we felt that the opportunities they had weren't that dangerous. So we felt we did a good job of limiting them to dangerous opportunities and chances. And we felt that we hadn't even started playing yet. So we felt we needed to do better with the ball. And obviously the set piece goal, the throwing goal was certainly helped and changed the outlook of the game and gave us a little bit of breathing room, but we still felt that we needed to play a lot better, regardless of being up 1-0 or 0-0 or down.
You got that with Noah Fuson's goal a handful of minutes into the second half. From your perspective and you and the coaching staff, what was your vision? What were you guys looking at when Noah got goal number 2 on the board?
We talked about that. Obviously Noah was playing at wing back, so we talked about him being able to get forward and get in their box and to be able to combine and do what he does. And that's something that he's done for us all year. So he likes operating in that area of the field regardless of the position that he plays. So yeah, it was once he got into that moment and he got his defender 1v1, we knew that was a favorable situation for us.
You're up 2-0, 30 minutes to go. Then you end up with a goal on the board from Charleston. From 35 is how it's listed. Juan David Torres scores off of a free kick in that. Is that one where you just kind of tip your hat and move on and hang on, or what was the thought pattern after he launches and gets it in from 35?
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic strike, so it was, whether he knows if he was shooting or he was trying to serve the ball, my guess is that he was shooting. And it was a fantastic strike. And look, our goalkeeper is doing what we ask him to do, which is defend the space, and he's coming out to defend the space, and a shot that was just hit in the only area of the goal that it could have been hit to hit him, to beat him, did. So incredible strike. Our goalkeeper was doing what we asked of him. And look, that was probably their most dangerous opportunity of the game. So in hindsight, if you're saying that the opposition's most dangerous opportunity of the game is going to be a free kick from 35 yards, I think you would take that.
How do you keep the guys locked in a situation like that where it is a wonder strike, it's a moment? How do you keep them locked into the task at hand with a half hour to go and not dwell on the fact that, wow, that was a wow moment that they got a goal on the board, the crowd's getting into it? How do you keep your guys locked into the task for that final 30 minutes and kind of just take it and forget it, understand that it happened, but just move on from it? How difficult a task is that?
Pretty easy, because one of our core beliefs and philosophies is next action, next play. So whatever it is, the ball went in the back of the net, like next action. The next action is the kickoff. So take the kickoff. That action is over. It's the playoffs. You're gonna have to deal with unexpected outcomes. You're gonna have to deal with adversity. But to their credit, I think every time the opponent has scored against us in these playoffs, like we've done with it well, and we're big believers in body language and how you can control that and how you can control how you react to things like that. And I think their body language was excellent. Like I would love to hold everybody to zero and not letting people score in the playoffs for 4 games, but ultimately it's probably not possible.
What's it been like to see your defense respond the way that it has this postseason?
Been good, and it's again, it's a team effort. Like we talk about attacking together, and that's starting from the back, and defending starts from the front. So you look at Albert, JJ, Noah, Zach, Clay, Mark Ibarra, that front five, so to speak. Like they started off for us, and they make the guys in the back's job easier. But the guys in the back have been excellent. Koke's been excellent. So I mean, for us, postseason football, you have to defend. You have to defend well, and you have to be resilient, and you have to bend and don't break. And I think collectively, we've done a really good job with that.
How much watching of Colorado Springs have you and the staff done this week getting ready for this matchup before you hop on a plane, before you head out to Colorado Springs for a title game? How far back into the library do you go in a situation like this?
Just depends. You look at similar situations where teams, you just try to find relevant information, like certain games we don't think are relevant to us, and whatever that is, we just look at it and to see what matches fit into our process and what information we want to give to the players without overloading them with information, but providing them enough information where they're confident. And obviously you have to know about the opponent in this day and age, but ultimately you want to know about the opponent, but that does not change who we are, what we do. We just obviously use it as information to guide us to get to the desired result.
And there are some headliners in Colorado Springs. Obviously, the goal scorer last time out for them, Juan Tejada. Folks may remember him from his time in Tampa Bay. Ronaldo Damus, with what he was able to do in the Western Conference, lighting it up. How do you, and I guess this is kind of splitting this question in two, knowing the talent that's there, how do you focus on not focusing on just individual guys and understanding that, okay, yeah, they're going to do their thing, but focusing on the collective? Does that make any sense? How do you focus on that, on Colorado Springs as a group, knowing that there are individuals that folks like me initially gravitate toward as, oh, you got to focus on this guy. Oh, you got to focus on that guy.
Yeah, ultimately for me, it's pretty easy. It's a team sport. They obviously have very good individuals that if you don't pay attention to what they're doing could hurt you. But for me, they're a good team. They're here for a reason. They're in the championship game, had a good regular season in the West. So for me, they're a good team. And you have to focus on the good team principles first, with keeping an eye on the individuals and how the individuals can impact games on their own.
Collectively, what has this ride in the playoffs been like for you and this staff and this group of players, where you've had to do it, you had to go to Indy and get a result, you've had to go other places and get results, you've knocked off some high seeds along the way, knowing that your job isn't finished? But what has it been like? Have you had the chance to sit and think, man, we've had a really good run here this last little while?
Yeah, it's been fun, I think it's been enjoyable. It's obviously had some ups and down moments, as you would, and I don't think any team in any league in any sport ever goes through a playoff run without some adversity. So yeah, I think we learned a lot about ourselves, and ultimately all those moments have made us more resilient. And it's just brought us together, and we practice togetherness. We talk about togetherness and coming together as a group. So all these things are just helping us along in that process. And yeah, you can see it. They're just coming together more and more each day, which is really cool to see.
When it comes to planning for something like a championship game, knowing all the demands of you and the players and the staff and all of this, how difficult is it to plan for something like this and not have it distract from what you want to accomplish in a day-to-day setting of, okay, we need to practice this today. We need to have our practice time. We need to have our together time. But you've got all of this other external stuff for a title game. How do you navigate those two different lanes of traffic?
Yeah, for me, it's been pretty easy, and I think we have a good support staff that's been able to do that for us. Like our front office obviously been helpful. Starts with the board providing us with all the resources and necessary things that can give us the best chance of performing at the weekend. Our director of team administration, an assistant general manager, like we have so much support staff that make my life easy and make the players' life easy. And all we have to really do is focus on the match and what we need to do as athletes and coaches on the pitch. So it's not normal. It's not, but it's not new because we have people that have experienced it before in this league and outside of this league. So yeah, we made the best of it, and it's ultimately, as we like to say, it's first world problems. So you could be home and dealing with that.
No doubt, and prepping for Thanksgiving with a lot longer runway. When it comes to a noon Eastern kickoff, how does that change things when it comes to planning, or how many days ahead of time do you readjust, knowing that it's going to be a noon Eastern kick, but a 10 o'clock local time kick in the morning? I mean, that's like soccer brunch is what we're staring at here. How does that set up, navigate, or re-navigate what you normally do on a match day?
Yeah, it is what it is. But, as kids, ultimately they play games in the morning. It's nothing different. You have to get up early in the morning. So just because they're adults, don't lose that. And we understand why. It's on a national TV network. And, that's the responsibility that we have, is to continue to grow the league and get it on a national stage. So we understand that, and we understand why it's at 10 a.m. And why it's on noon Eastern on East Coast time. So yeah, we have a responsibility to grow the game, but ultimately, if that's the worst thing we have to deal with that day is a 10 a.m. kickoff, I think we're doing okay.
Do you keep everything on Eastern time, or do you just sit there and go, yeah, I know we're on Mountain time, it is what it is? Do you keep everything on an Eastern time zone clock just so everybody's clock stays the way that it normally is?
Yeah, I mean, I ultimately they're adults and they're professionals. I don't control what they want to do, when they want to sleep, when they want to wake up. They know what they have to do. The only thing we control is the meeting times and the meal times, and we keep that as close to as what we've done for. It doesn't matter. The game could be 3 a.m. Like we'll keep the meeting time, we'll keep the meal time the same, as you would previously.
And we are looking forward to it. Noon Saturday kick, Widener Field, beautiful downtown Colorado Springs, Colorado. The Eastern Conference champs. How's that sound? Eastern Conference champs in USL Championship. How's that sound?
Sounds pretty good. But
I know you're looking for one more to add to it. Great season so far, Coach. Thanks for dropping by, as you always do, and letting us kind of pull back the curtain a little bit with everything going on as you're prepping for a championship game. Thanks for dropping by. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, sounds good.